There's still some things that we're adding to our early offensive reads, our concepts. And so once we get those in, then we'll add a few play calls in so the ball goes specifically here, specifically there. But right now, we just want to play conceptually. We want to play the game of basketball based on our staples, which is playing fast and having the floor space. Reversing the ball, touching the paint, making quick decisions. We feel like, if we can get the guys to understand how to play conceptually, then once we get to a point, if we do call the play, if the play doesn't quote unquote work or we don't get a look out of that specific action, the guys know how to keep playing. They know how to play, do action after the play. Call it the play after the play, and the guys are moving along great with that.
Mike, he got a few minutes when you guys were overseas, but Trey Jameson, the third, what have you thought of him so far, seeing him in camp, seeing him out there?
He's a physical presence. He's a guy that communicates extremely well for a young guy. I mean, he communicates loud, and it's continuous, which most bigs need to try to be able to do because they can see everything. They're on the back line in the defense, they can see everything. And so to be able to talk your teammates through it is a huge advantage if you have a guy that is like Trey when it comes to communicating. Like I said, he's a physical presence. Guys like playing with him because they know he's going to set screens and get them open. And then he's got good feet. He's got good feet, and he's got a good motor. And any time that you have a big that has good feet and good motor, that's not afraid, talks, brings value to the table in a lot of different ways. So Cat and Yabusele, they have the toughest job on the team because our 1, 2, 3, and 4 are all interchangeable. Okay, so when you're on the floor, you got to know all 4 of the spots. And then our 5 is completely separate. And Cat and Yabusele play both. So they got to learn all 5 spots in everything that we're trying to do right now. We haven't put any plays in. Everything that we have in is basically off of reads. It's a read and react offense that's conceptually based. And so, Cat and Yabusele, they have a ways to go just because sometimes they're at the 5, sometimes they're at the 4, and they're completely different. They're both doing a fantastic job trying to adjust, but it's going to take them a little bit longer than everybody else just because they're playing both of the positions within the framework of the offense, and so their learning curve is going to have to be a lot steeper than anybody else's. But they're doing great. They'll end up finding their spots, especially Cat, of where and how he can score. The neat part about it is a guy like him, we're trying to move him around, and eventually we don't have any play sets in yet or any sets in yet that plays, and those for us are when the ball's going to be specifically in this person's hand and everybody's going to be in these specific spots. We don't have that stuff in yet. And when we get there, guys like Cat and Jalen, OG, Mikhail, those guys, they'll get more touches in areas that they'll like the ball in instead of just in flow.
I'm sure like your medical people had a plan in place. Will it take longer than just a few days, do you guys think? Or?
Yeah, I think so. Today was a really good practice for just getting back from the Middle East, But having said that, it was probably one of our, it wasn't by no means at all sloppy, but one of our sloppiest practice, But it was still really, really good practice for, going all the way over there, playing 2 games, staying there a week, coming back, with the travel day, having yesterday off, and now we're throwing a lot at them today. I was impressed with the level of focus and intensity that they tried to bring to the table, given the circumstances. And we'll, as the week goes on, we'll get back under ourselves a little bit, get our feet underneath us, and hopefully start doing this again because we were moving in a pretty good direction.
With the starting unit and your core guys, I know you've had them in terms of minutes, and those played more than 20 or so. Just at what point in the preseason do you anticipate ramping up the workload for all the guys?
We'll probably ramp it up a little bit this third game. You know, try to get the starters a little bit of action in the second half. That's our plan right now.
There was a a report from ESPN that said that Knicks and the Bucks had some trade talks about Giannis Antetokounmpo in August. Is that something that you get looped in on? How does that work from your perspective?
Yeah, I don't get into that stuff. We're in a great spot right now. Our guys, they're playing their tails off. They're starting to pick up what we're doing defensively. Offensively, we're getting a little bit more comfortable, especially trying to play fast. And that's what I'm concentrating on now. And like I said, I love our guys, and I think they're starting to enjoy playing the way that we're trying to play on both ends.
How are you, I guess, gathering data on different lineups when different guys are in? Have you gotten a chance to go through all the lineups that you like, or how is that process?
Yeah, not really, just because of the injuries, but it's why you have 15 guys and 3 two-ways now. Somebody goes down, it's the next man up. OG didn't play in game 1, okay, it's the next guy step up. Josh didn't play in game 2, next guy step up, and knock on wood, but that's how it's got to be all year, and that's why it's extremely important for everybody to make sure that they're mentally locked into what we're doing, because your number can be called at any time. And our guys, I believe that they're extremely professional, and they'll be ready when their number's called, even if they hadn't played for a game or two.
When something like Cat has such a unique strength to his size with the 3-point shot, as you're watching him play conceptually, when you start working into plays, how important is it to kind of get him going in a rhythm with those shots early in the season, or do you kind of trust that maybe a dozen games in down the road in the season, like he'll finally kind of start to settle into a rhythm?
Cat's he's an intelligent guy. He's got a great feel for the game of basketball. He's starting to get a good feel for what we're doing. And anytime you have a great, talented player like that, that is gifted as he is offensively, and his size, and his ability to shoot the ball, he's going to find a rhythm. It's tougher for him and Yabusele right now, just because I've been moving him back and forth. And so not only is he trying to get a rhythm, but he's trying to figure out what the hell he's supposed to do when he's at the 5, as opposed to when he's at the 4. And when he's at the 4, he can be technically in the spot of the 1, the 2, the 3, the 4. So trying to figure that out is taking up a ton of his thought process right now. And once he and Yabusele get a little bit more comfortable with that, I think you'll see offensively he's going to flourish, because we're moving him around. Teams can't just think that, okay, he's going to be just on a pick and roll, or he's just going to be trailing, or he's just going to be here. He could be here one play, he could be there, he could be here, he could be at the center spot. And now it's hard to tee off and double team, or to measure up how you're going to play him, because he's all over the place at all times.
Thanks, Coach. Thank you, Mike.
Appreciate you guys.